Yo, this video titled David flees Hollywood mansion after cops seize evidence. Now, if you watch my last video, you know his house actually got raided by LAPD and they were looking to find any evidence, any sign that he committed that murder. Now, we're gonna watch this video and we're gonna talk about it.
So we've just had another update on the David situation, and it sounds like he has fled his home and gotten the hell out of where he was staying, where this body was discovered. Okay, there's a bunch of articles going around, there's a bunch of Reddit posts going around. Apparently he has officially left the home that he was in whilst this allegedly all went down. Okay, so let's just get straight into it. I'll show you that.
Bro, but why wouldn't he, bro? Like, why would he? Like, let's say he did it or he didn't do it. Why wouldn't he get out of that crib, bro? He got police crawling all over the place, probably watching him. He's probably on 24-hour surveillance, bro. Why wouldn't you get out of that crib?
I'll show you some of the videos, everything that's going on. But yeah, it's looking like David is getting the hell out of here. Okay, so this is a Sun article. It says, "One more dance. Singer David flees $20,000 a month home after odd music video shot just weeks before girl was found dead in his Tesla emerges."
Bro, this headline is just absolute word vomit. Like, bruh, it's going in like 20 different directions, bro. I can't lie. Like, one more dance, singer David, please, bro. Like, it's all over the place, bro.
And the homeowner has even spoken out about the search. So he was renting this property 20 bands a month. All right, on top of sending 9 bands to all these, you know what I'm saying, these Apple Pay accounts, this guy had a lot of overheads, man. Must be expensive to...
Bro, what were the Apple Pay accounts? Let me know in the chat, bro, if you know what he's talking about. But 10 bands or 20 bands a month is crazy rent, bro. Like, that's insane. But when you got it like that, why not, bro?
Keep a secret, man. But this is a little video at the top of the article, and then I'll get into the article, explain everything that went down.
Police discovered decomposing human remains wrapped in a bag we now know belongs to Rivas. Eyewitness News has learned that she was found wearing a tube top, black leggings. She also had a tattoo on her right index finger that said, "Shh."
Sometimes, especially me doing music and things like that, it kind of gets hard to kind of navigate the bridge between your faith and your flesh.
Spooky, man, spooky. So look, let's get into this full article, right? Hang on, we don't need no trailers popping up. So this says, the singer David has suddenly left the 4-bedroom home he had been renting for $20,000 a month only days after it was searched by cops. A probe is underway after the dismembered body of a missing teenager, Celeste Rivas, 15, was discovered in the trunk of a Tesla car. So this is an image of the cops searching the home in Los Angeles that David was renting. They're taking out evidence. Sounds like they got a bunch of stuff. They got computers. They're saying the search took place just months after his song One More Dance was released. Now, this is the blood on the white shirt again. You know what?
Bro, that's such weird, like, that's such weird symbolism, like the blood on the white shirt, bro. Man, I don't understand. I remember when I went to his concert, just seeing everybody in those shirts, and it was so eerie, bro, because it was like, it's like, what's that really mean? You know what I mean? We see, like, that's his, like, his merch that he's selling, but what's it really mean? Like, what's behind it, bro? And I have a feeling we're gonna see very soon. Man,
that, you know what that symbolizes? It's very twisted, man. As I said, Rivas' body was found on September the 8th, months after the music video for David's track One More Dance was released. In the chilling clip, the artist, real name David Anthony Burke, played both a killer and a victim. At the start of the video, he was blindfolded, wearing a blood-stained white shirt, and seen dragging his victim by the feet before being seen belting out lyrics from a makeshift grave. David, 20, has not been charged in connection with Rivas' death, but last week cops searched the Hollywood Hills property that he was renting. Okay.
That's crazy that they still haven't charged him, bro. Like, this dude could really get out of there, bro. He could really, like, bro, if I was him, bro, not that I would ever do anything like this, but if I were in his situation, bro, I would for surely, like, most definitely just flee the country to somewhere that doesn't have extradition, bro. Get the fuck out of Dodge, and they'd never see me again, bro. Except I drop music videos. If I was him, I drop music videos and drop more hints, bro. Just never stop dropping videos and hints. Hey, thank you, Red Rant, for the follow. Appreciate you.
Singer had been living in the $3.6 million home that had been rented for him by his manager, John Marshall. But Malden Trifonovich claimed that Marshall asked him to end the lease, as reported by the Mail. Okay, the agreement began in February 2024, around 2 months before Rivas was last seen. Marshall is said to have already started hauling his and David's belongings out of the home. They didn't want to be there anymore, Trifonovich told the outlet. He believes the pair will move out of the home this very week. Trifonovich previously told Rolling Stone that he was shocked after cops carried out the search. He said he was informed about the developments by his real estate manager. Until then, I had no idea anything had happened at the house or what was going on with David and the missing little girl.
That's the right thing to say. Who is this guy? Is this guy his manager?
The landlord empathetically stated that he didn't know David.
Oh, this is the landlord, bro. Damn. Imagine being a landlord and finding out somebody you were renting to, bro, was on some like demonic, devious timing like this, bro. I'd be so confused. Not even confused, bro. I'd just be like, damn, like you never know. You never know, bro. You could have known this dude and thought he was a nice guy and all type of shit, but you know what I mean? You never really know what's going on behind closed doors, especially with people with so much like money and power and the means to do all type of wild shit.
Searching the home on September 17th, 2025, cops were seen carrying potential evidence. One cop was seen carrying what looks like a computer screen, according to footage shared by the ABC affiliate KABC-TV. Several items of evidence were recovered and will be analyzed by detectives in the coming days, the LA Police Department said. This is an ongoing investigation. Investigators are following up on several leads. Cops searched a home for blood evidence, according to Charles Latibaudiere, a TMZ journalist. So they did this scouring of the house looking for any evidence, he told News Nation. Right? Grisly find.
That name is insane. Latibaudiere. God damn.
The home that was searched was near to where David's car had been abandoned before it was taken to the Hollywood tow yard. Cops found Rivas's body after workers detected a foul smell coming from the vehicle. Rivas's body was not intact and had severely decomposed. It's since emerged that Rivas and David had been in a relationship. The relationship started when she was 13, her family told the US Sun. I didn't know that the family had told them that. That's crazy.
That's insane that they knew, bro. Like, bro. Hey, chat, bro. Bro, how much money would it cost you, like, to give your 13-year-old daughter to some famous artist, bro? Cause that really sounds like that sounds like a documentary, bro. That sounds like a Netflix documentary. Like, that don't even sound like real life, and it's crazy that shit actually be happening, like, in real time, like.
Actually crazy. We're gonna get into that in a minute, right? And one of Rivas's former science teachers claimed she had run away to Hollywood to be with him. David and the teen are said to have matching tattoos that said shush on their right index fingers, and the music star seemed to fantasize about someone named Celeste in a leaked track.
Bro, the tattoos is so eerie and like insane, bro. Like, it's so eerie and insane. The fact that they're like matching, like, don't tell nobody, that's so crazy, bro. Shit.
Rivas was seen in April 2024 in Lake Elsinore, around 69 miles from Los Angeles. A vigil was held in Lake Elsinore over the weekend. Eli Nadaf, a store owner there, described her as a shy, sweet child. He told the LA Times that she would go to his store when heading to the bus station before going to school. Rivas's cause of death remains deferred, but Alison Trissel, a criminal defense lawyer, explained that the teen's autopsy will be a crucial tool in the police's probe. Once the medical examiner determines this, the information can help investigators direct their focus and look for possible suspects or potential murder weapons.
Bro, possible suspects, bro. Possible suspects, bro. They really dragging their feet with this shit, bro. Like, they gotta know something we don't, and they just not telling us, because ain't no way, bro.
He told the CW affiliate KTLA. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of articles, all right, that we can get into to can give us some more information about this situation, okay? But he has seemingly officially left his home, all right? They're not feeling the ad blocker. They're not feeling the ad blocker, man. God damn. So this is the Daily Mail article. A whole bunch of headphones being marketed to me right now. Got Raycon on deck, all right?
Bro, we can't be giving out the free ads, bro. Hey, block that shit off the screen, future Mitch.
How do I get rid of that? That is annoying. Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right. So David mystery deepens as he suddenly breaks $20,000 lease on home raided in dead girl age 13 invest.
Damn, bro, he broke the lease. Y'all, if you ever broke a lease at a spot, you gotta pay, like, I think it's a month and a half's rent up front. Like, you gotta pay it all at once. So, y'all, let's talk about it for real. I'm gonna unplug this because this shit's low-key, like, fucking with my camera. But let's talk about it, bro. You gotta pay a month and a half's rent up front, meaning he probably had to pay $30,000 to break that lease. The fact that he's willing to pay $30,000 to get out of the place, bro, it really tells me something, bro. And of course, it's at a point where it's like it's people digging around there and all type of shit, but it's like that's insane, bro. 30 bands, bro. 30 bands. Imagine just giving up 30 bands, bro. Like that.
David and his manager have abruptly broken their $20K a month Hollywood lease just days after the police raided the property in connection with a dismembered body of missing teenager found in his Tesla. Okay. The Tesla had been abandoned for 4 days near Doney Place and Bluebird Avenue, only blocks away from a 4-bedroom home rented by Burke's manager, Josh Marshall, when the 20-year-old singer had been staying. Now, look, there's been a lot of talk about
that's crazy. I know them streets,
how
bro.
far away the car was found from the property, and I think there's some credence to one theory that actually maybe he'd have told somebody to move the car, and they maybe drove it a couple of blocks before smelling and realizing, yo, something ain't right with this, and abandoning it, and perhaps that's why it ended up getting towed. Okay, but the fact that
yeah, I can't lie, I'd be that homie, bro. If my homeboy ever told me to move a car, bro, and I feel like I feel for a second, bro, is something up with it, bro, I'm leaving the car. I won't even tell you nothing. I'm gonna just leave the car and get out of there, bro. I'm gonna keep it a band, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, dog. I would have had your back in any other situation, bro. In this one, I'm snitching, bro. I'm snitching, bro. Don't trust me, bro.
Was found only blocks from the home rented by Josh Marshall is definitely suspicious. Police stormed the property on September the 17th, seizing bags of evidence, including a laptop. Okay, and this is all the stuff that we already heard.
Bro, once they got the devices, it's cooked, bro. They gonna get your ChatGPT questions. Hey, how to slice up a body properly, like how to slice up a body with the least amount of blood possible, like how to slice up a body in this way and that way, bro. Like, like how to get rid of a dead body. Nah, bro. They got all those ChatGPT searches. They got all those Google searches. You're cooked, bro. All those Reddit groups, bro. Those Reddit groups, how to dismembering for dummies. They got your ass, bro. I'm sorry. It's over at this point, bro. That's why they not saying nothing in these articles, bro. Cause they already know. They just gotta prove it, bro. And the more they let us know, like the less power they got.
This is him with all of his blood-stained white shirts. Very creepy. Right, very twisted. Okay, so this is some actually interesting background information about the landlord. He said, "This has all just been a big shock. I'm still trying to process everything, and I'm anxiously waiting for the story to conclude itself. It's very disturbing." Trifonovich, an AI developer and crypto investor, hasn't.
So he does fraud. Bro, I'm sorry. Anytime somebody tells me they do crypto, bro, that just means you do fraud, bro. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with doing fraud. If you're making money doing fraud, do it, bro. But, bro, don't ever believe these fools when they be telling you they invest in crypto, when they be telling you they invest in crypto, or they develop AI, or they're AI artists and stuff, bro. That just means they do fraud.
Had any direct contact with the LAPD and isn't sure what was found inside the home or what kinds of tests were carried out.
Bro, that's honestly, it's like the perfect thing to say, bro, so people don't ask questions, bro. Because if you don't understand it, you can't look into it.
Okay, and that's his manager. That's David's manager, Josh Marshall, apparently, who was actually on the lease. And then this is the home. It is a beautiful home. The rental above was raised last week. Homeowner Molden Trifonovich told the Daily Mail he's since negotiated to break the lease amid the ongoing investigation. Beautiful home, man. Absolutely beautiful home, wedged right into this little corner spot. And 20 bands a month that he
it's a nice crib, bro. We get it.
Was paying that, so he was clearly getting to that money, man. 20 bands a month is
bro, we get it. He's richer than us, bro.
Messed up. Okay. In the meantime, the landlord Trifonovich hopes that the mounting questions about Rivas's disappearance and the circumstances of her death will soon be answered for her loved ones. Like everyone else, I want to know who's responsible for this and how a little girl's disappearance could slip through so many layers of responsibility. Are more people responsible for this other than the immediate ones? Who else is to blame? It's terrible. You never imagine for 1 second that a property you own could be dragged into something like this, but it's a very safe neighborhood with lots of security, and the police will have plenty of surveillance footage to work with.
So they caught his ass on camera. Bro, I seen the video, bro. They said they caught his ass on camera. That's the next video we're watching. That's the next video y'all gonna get. Bro, that camera footage is about to be insane. And everybody was saying like, oh, don't Teslas record everything? Don't Teslas record everything? But apparently Teslas don't even record unless you tell it to. So it's like, or you get like a hard drive, like a backup basically. It just deletes the footage, which doesn't really make sense. I mean, it kind of makes sense to like save space, but it doesn't really make sense. Like, why would you want a camera that doesn't record? You know what I mean?
Hey, so he's saying there's a bunch of surveillance. The LAPD in the search said the search of Burke's rental yielded several items of evidence that will be analyzed in the coming days, right? Just beautiful, beautiful property, man. Trifonovich said he hasn't had any contact with LAPD and is unsure what was found during the search or what kind of tests were conducted inside. Okay, so they're following up on several leads. All right, they're looking into the property. There's a bunch of these images that we've seen recently in recent videos all over this place. All right, so it's actually crazy. So apparently David has retained counsel. He's got top Hollywood attorney Blair Burke, who hasn't returned any requests for comments, but he previously represented Prince Andrew, creepy Prince Andrew, all right, who was allegedly rolling with Jeffrey Epstein, and Kanye West. Maybe not as much.
Damn, bro. You better get us all smoked.
Much of a creep, but definitely a moron with some very questionable views.
Bro, so he got he got a lawyer who specialized in protecting the weirdest of the weird and the craziest of the crazy. Actually, Kanye West fits in the weirdest of the weird after that Cousins track, bro. I literally just made a video talking about that, bro. Y'all gonna see that in a minute, but
maybe not as much of a creep, but definitely a moron with some very questionable views. Okay, police officers here raiding the Beverly Hills home that Burke's manager had been renting. No charges have been filed yet, but everybody is watching and waiting to try and get to the bottom of this thing, man. And I think there's more pictures of the property being searched in this article. Let's check those out here. All right, there's over 15. Man, 3-car garage. Absolutely lovely. Beautiful outdoor seating area there. More pictures of them together that we've seen already. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to see more pictures of this home. Beautiful home, man.
Bro, stop secondhand flexing on me, bro. Like, this is really about to piss me off, bro. Because I'm like, bro, they don't understand, bro. I'm in school right now. I'm so broke, bro. I'm as broke as I ever been. Which ain't broke, but it's bad. That's why I'm going so hard on the content, bro. I got to stack up this paper, bro.
So this is a Rolling Stone article. Okay, the owner of the home spoke to Rolling Stone, and David was linked to that house blocks away from where the body was found. Oh, no, no paywall. So later on in this Rolling Stone article, it says neighborhood sources previously told...
Bro, who really paid to read? I gotta know this, bro. Who really paid to read? Like, when you can watch it on YouTube for free. I mean, at the end of the day, I understand, like, buying a book or something, or, like, buying, like, a membership, or, like, an audiobook, or whatever the case. But it's like, bro, paying to read the paper? To read the news? When you can hear the news on Money Mitch's channel? It don't even make sense. It just don't make sense.
Rolling Stone that the dented Tesla with Texas license plates had been parking in various places around the neighborhood as far back as May. TMZ was the first to report the home was rented by David managers. So Celeste's mother reportedly told TMZ that her daughter had been dating someone named David before her death. Okay, and people have followed the career and seen numerous pictures of them together. The Rivas family declined to speak with reporters assembled outside their home on September the 17th, but a friend who visited the house described her as a sweet and studious teenager, saying that she previously attended Lakeland Village School with her own child, and it's so sad that the friend told Rolling Stone she was very beautiful. Okay. Burke seemed unfazed leading up to the victim's identification. The fashion companies Crocs and Hollister pulled back on a campaign that featured the musician. Crocs is crazy because she was wearing those Hello Kitty Crocs that was in the wanted poster in a picture where she went backstage with him. But the brand said, we're aware of the developing story with respect to the current situation. We've removed the campaign content featuring David while the investigation continues, the brand said in a joint statement sent to Footwear News. Okay.
To be real with y'all, bro, I thought he was going to get those deals back, bro. Like, before all this, like, information came out, I really thought he was going to get those deals back. But, nah, that shit ain't happening ever. He could beat this shit, bro. He could beat this shit, be proven innocent. It could be, like, his roommate or something, or, like, whatever. And he is still never get him back, bro. It just looks so bad, bro. Like, the internet detectives really cooked his shit.
So, there's going to be other articles that we can touch on, all right? Let's see what else this one says. So here's an interesting tidbit from ABC7. It says the cause of death is still being determined, and the LAPD's robbery homicide division is leading the death's investigation. But the case is not yet a homicide investigation because the authorities still don't know how she died. And the case really is currently relying on the medical examiner determining a cause of death, which apparently is proving difficult, and no arrests have been made. So there's some more information about the search of the home here on this News Nation article, okay?
That's really sound, though. The fact that it's not a homicide investigation, though, because, like, we really don't know what happened. Like, at this point, we're really just speculating. We got no clue what happened. You know, it could have been an accident. It could have been all type of different possibilities. So before we know that, like, or they got the footage. I mean, but no, they ain't even got the footage inside his crib, so they wouldn't even know.
So this says that the The Los Angeles Police Department Homicide Unit searched the Hollywood Hills home where David was staying Wednesday night after Celeste was identified as the victim in the Tesla. Police reportedly searched for blood evidence. TMZ's Charles Latibaudiere told Banfield that police swooped on the house in search of anything resembling blood evidence. They were even checking drains to see if there's blood evidence or blood tissue in the drains there, so they did a scouring of his house looking for any evidence. Police told TMZ that the home was about a block and a half from where David's Tesla was parked before it was towed. We know that Tesla is his. The thing that's still not clear is who was actually driving the Tesla when the body was placed in the car, who parked it, where it was eventually found and impounded. Those are the dots that still need to be connected here. Okay. Yeah, that is messed up, man. That is messed up. So this is an interesting tidbit. True crime journalist Lauren Conlin said that Banfield, News Nation's Banfield was told the victim was found dismembered in a plastic-type container. They stated that according to the medical examiner, the body was very decomposed, which to them indicated that it had been there for well over a month. Conlin also commented on David's silence, saying she finds it interesting he hasn't spoken publicly, given that he rose to fame on social media. So this is another article.
That like they say that like why isn't he speaking publicly? Why isn't he addressing things? Bro, because he's under investigation. Bro, because he's under investigation. Like imagine for a minute like you're the one, right? You're the one who's under investigation for a murder, right? Just for a second. Imagine it's you. Would you take the risk of saying anything, even if it'll make like your fans get behind you again, or like it'll win back the public image, or whatever? Would you say anything? No. The only answer is no, because it's like all you could do at that point is dig the hole deeper. You're already in trouble. Like you say nothing, you're in trouble. But if you say something, you're in more trouble. There's nothing you could say that's gonna clear your name in the eyes of the law. Maybe in the eyes of the people or the public. As far as like public relations goes, but at the end of the day, you could win back the public, but you still gotta go to court, and they go bring up. Best believe they'll bring up every single thing you said having to do with the situation. So it's best to keep his mouth shut. He's good. Like that's the smartest thing he's done in this whole situation. Is keep his mouth shut.
Son, this says haunting call. Celeste Rivas' family got a chilling warning before the body was found in David's Tesla after her relationship with him from age 13. A family source apparently spoke to the US Sun about the teen's disappearance, and this looks like that same footage that we saw earlier from outside that house. But this says the 15-year-old who was dead in the trunk of singer David's car allegedly struck up a worrying relationship with him years earlier, and the family begged police for help. Okay. So this basically goes on to say that's the home of Celeste Rivas' family, who declined to comment on the case. So I guess that's the same home that we're seeing in this video of somebody coming and going from there. So people are outside their house looking for comment, and they're not really trying to talk, which is understandable given the heartbreaking gravity of this story. So this is interesting. It says the case is being investigated as a homicide, but the cause of death is still listed as deferred according to authorities, which I looked it up, and apparently this is actually an indication that they've still not been able to find a cause of death. They're still having to wait for the toxicology. They're going to see if there was any substances inside the body when they passed away. But they're having trouble identifying the actual cause of death, and that's going to make it hard to bring homicide charges. Okay. Celeste was initially reported missing in April 2024, and her family made social media posts asking for help to find the teenager, although they later went quiet. Okay. The source, who is close to Celeste's mother, Mercedes...
They later went quiet. Why? Like, does that not... I mean, I'm not, bro. I hate to like point the finger at the family, but it's like, your daughter's missing, your sister's missing. Why are you quiet? Because they knew. Because they knew. There's only one answer. Because they knew. And I feel like it's been the same thing, like about a lot of these questions that have been brought up about like the family's conduct during this time where their daughter was missing, bro. It's like, or where Celeste was missing. It's just because they knew, bro. They knew she was messing with this dude, this grown man, mind you.
Martinez told the US Sun that they're all devastated over the teen's death, and they claim they begged police for help. The insider, speaking in Spanish, said the family was aware of Celeste's relationship with Burke. The source says, I still don't know a lot, but I don't understand why the police didn't do more. For a period, Celeste came back home by herself and stayed with her mother, but the police weren't involved. Why didn't they ask her, where were you? Are you okay? I don't know when she came back, but then she disappeared again and went back to him. I know someone called her mother and said, stop looking for her, she's fine. They told the family to take down the social media posts about her being missing. It's not known who the alleged caller was or whether they were connected to David in any way. The source said that they themselves took down a post for asking for help as they were scared that the situation was out of hand. So they're saying that they themselves took down a post asking for help. They were scared that this was like more serious than they could have imagined. They're actually taking down posts looking for this lost little girl, which is just really sad, because ultimately that in a certain way may have enabled more of this stuff to happen. It's not their fault, but the fact is, if they're easing up on the search for this girl, that kind of makes it easier for this person to keep doing whatever they were doing, man. It's messed up. It says the insider was sickened to hear of the gruesome details reported about Celeste's death and said that they're desperate for justice. Insider was sickened to hear.
Bro, someone called, my bad. I was not locked in. Someone called her mom and said, stop looking for her. She's fine. They told the family to take down social media posts about her being missing. Yeah, this dude's cooked, bro. Yeah, this dude's fried. Absolutely fried. Absolutely. Wow. Because they still got them calls, bro. The source said they themselves took a post down asking for help as they were scared the situation was out of hand.
Kind of makes it easier for this person to keep doing whatever they were doing, man. It's messed up. It says the insider was sickened to hear of the gruesome details reported about Celeste's death and said that they're desperate for justice. Okay, it says Celeste leaves behind her parents, Mercedes and Jesus, a brother Matthew, and a half-sister Jennifer. The US Sun has made multiple attempts to reach her family. Rivas' brother told NBC LA that she knew that they were dating, that they knew she was dating the singer, and claimed she ran off with him in 2024 after he regularly picked her up in the same Tesla her body was found in. The US Sun source, who has known Celeste since she was a baby, sobbed as they described the teen as a very happy girl. They said, it hurts me a lot because I basically saw her grow up. She would often come and visit. She did well in school and studied a lot. She was very mature for her age, and she would help her mother as she was great with children.
I bet David thought the same thing. Chat.
Sources claimed to the Daily Mail that Rivas' relationship was an open secret and that she had been skipping class at the Lakeland Middle School before she vanished in 2024. And so the Riverside County...
Bro, an open secret, bro? An open secret? Bro, why was anybody okay with this? Like, I still can't wrap my head around, like, the fact that people knew about this and was just, like, chill. Like, oh, yeah, like, you hanging with that singer again? Bro, what the fuck?
At the Lakeland Middle School before she vanished in 2024. And so the Riverside County Sheriff's Office confirmed to the US Sun that deputies were dispatched to the house in Lake Elsinore on April the 5th, 2024, regarding the report of a runaway. Upon arrival, deputies spoke with the reporting party, who advised that the female juvenile had left the location in an unknown direction. Deputies conducted a search of the area but were unable to locate the female juvenile. The female was entered into the missing persons database as a runaway, and the report was forwarded to investigators for follow-up. The investigation remained ongoing. And then they found the body, which is just so sad. So this is an LA Times article that's got some more backstory and some more photos of the scene of the vigil. So this is titled, She Deserves Justice, Celeste Rivas Hernandez Hometown Mourns, Sweet Child Found Dead in Singer's Car. And this is a photo of the mural. It says, community residents gathered Sunday evening for a vigil in Lake Elsinore to remember Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the 15-year-old whose remains were found in an impounded Tesla registered to the singer David in Hollywood. So this basically goes on to explain how some people reacted to the news. It says, residents and acquaintances of the teenager are following the case with a mixture of heartbreak, shock, and anger. As more details emerged that she knew the multi-platinum singer, whose real name is David Anthony Burke. She deserves justice, resident Ruby Alonso said. It's just so sad. Alonso's son is around the same age as Celeste. She met the girl's family when Celeste was in kindergarten and remained friends with her family. She was a studious, hard worker, and intelligent. So it says here that Celeste's family couldn't be reached for comment on Friday. They didn't answer the door at their home in Lake Elsinore, and neighbors said they haven't seen them recently. Last February, missing persons posters blanketed the quiet residential street where Celeste lived with her family. It was one of the first time the neighbors recalled seeing the girl's face on a poster, but it wouldn't be the last time she was reported missing. I recognized her because of her big curly hair, neighbor Kaylee Cortez said. I would see her walking with her backpack on the way to school. The teen was reported missing on Valentine's Day 2024 when she was just 13, and the Riverside County Sheriff's Department confirmed Celeste was reported missing last year, but didn't provide any additional information about the case and referred all questions to LAPD. Right? Just
bro, it sounded like the police knew too, bro. That's so fucking crazy.
after 7 a.m. on March the 19th, 2024, a young girl walked down the street in a dark sweater and light pants, according to surveillance video from Del Lago Spirits, which is in Celeste's neighborhood. Celeste's family had asked the store owner, Eli Nadaf, for the video. He sent it to them, and they were confident that the girl in the video was Celeste. He believes that she got into a vehicle down the street from the store, but he couldn't make out any clear details as she walked out of the frame and into the video. He says that the police have not even contacted him for the video, but the teen regularly stopped by the corner store on her way to a nearby bus stop. He says she was going to school with other kids and she would stop by all the time. She would get Takis, soda, and maybe some candy. She was always so quiet, shy, just a sweet child, said Nadaf, who is a father and has operated his business for 11 years in the neighborhood. I feel a connection to the community. It's just heartbreaking to see this happen. He said, I get goosebumps when I heard about what happened to her when they found her in the car. It was just so horrible. Apparently, Celeste had returned to Lake Elsinore in the last year, said Alonso, the family friend, but she could not specify or recall specific dates. She said on one occasion, Celeste came home by herself and another time with the police. So this is another article from KTLA5, and this is really focusing on how the coroner's report will be key to solving the case, okay? So the LA Department medical examiner lists her as case 14252, but to the family and friends and community members, she was much more than just a number. A teenager with her whole life ahead of her who went missing in 2024. Investigators are now working to fill the gaps and determine how she ended up in the trunk of a Tesla belonging to David, a rising star in the music business. So here's some details from the coroner's report, right? So the official date of death is listed as September the 8th, 2025, because that's the date that the death was pronounced, but her body was badly decomposed and she had likely been in the vehicle for a much longer time. The place of death is listed as a vehicle because that's where the body was found, but the case is being investigated as a homicide now. It says the cause of death has been deferred, and we asked the medical examiner just what that means. It says the cause and manner of death have been deferred, which means the deputy medical examiner completed an examination, but cause of death has not been determined. The deputy medical examiner is requesting additional testing and or studies in order to make a determination. Regarding the types of tests, toxicology or otherwise, due to the ongoing death investigation, the County of LA Department of Medical Examiner cannot disclose what testing or studies were requested. Deferred cases can take a few months before a cause of death. So it could be months before this actually really is being investigated in that way.
But how did they even figure that out months after, like, the death? How did they keep the... I wonder how they keep the body, like, you know what I mean? Like, in one piece, so to speak.
So basically, people are looking, in addition to the coroner's report, investigators are looking for any security camera that could shed light on what happened. Teslas have a robust camera system known as Sentry Mode, which can record 4 external angles of the vehicle and video inside the cabin. When asked whether the LAPD has consulted with Tesla or if onboard footage exists from this particular vehicle, the automaker did not respond to their requests of the comment. Okay, and then the importance of the autopsy report is key. It says, according to KTLA's legal analyst Alison Tressel, the autopsy is a common and strong piece of evidence that can determine the entire investigation. Tressel explained that the autopsy for Celeste Rivas Hernandez will be the first thing to reveal the cause of death, whether it's strangulation, blunt force trauma, or poisoning, amongst other things. Once the medical examiner determines this information can help investigators direct their focus and look for possible suspects or potential murder weapons. As for the additional testing likely being conducted since the cause of death was deferred, the results are crucial to investigators. However, as a toxicology report can reveal to investigators whether there was any poisoning, overdose, or incapacitation. Tressel said if the victim was intoxicated on the night of the death, a toxicology report can show a timeline of when substances were last ingested. So the news of David essentially abruptly breaking his lease and fleeing the home has circulated on the David2 subreddit, and people are reacting to it here. Okay, it says David and his manager...
They had to make another subreddit? Bro, what? Oh, when it gets locked. Damn, I was about to say, bro. Because ain't no way they're covering it up that hard, bro, that they took down the Reddit, bro. That would be fucking crazy.
Manager abruptly broke their $20K per month lease just days after police searched the property, right? According to the Daily Mail, David and his manager abruptly ended their $20K a month lease after police searched the property. The homeowner signed the lease in 2024, and the landlord told the Daily Mail that following last week's raid, the manager asked to terminate the lease, and they've begun moving out both his and David's belongings. They're moving out this week. The moving truck will be here soon. They've decided to move out because of the ongoing circumstances. They didn't want to be there anymore. And so people are saying, I would assume the owner of the property wouldn't want them anymore first and foremost. People are saying, no, the owner of the property spoke to the news about it. They hadn't been aware of anything up until the search. And immediately after, the manager asked to break the lease. I don't know who's trying to rent that property. To be honest, that property is potentially a crime scene. So good luck renting that one out afterwards. You might as well have just...
Bro, someone's gonna rent it out, bro. These Hollywood nerds, bro, he don't really know how it be, bro. Like, I'm telling you, people go and visit, like, the OJ house and stuff like that. So it's like... Bro, I don't think he gonna have any trouble renting that out, bro. He could rent that shit out for weekends, bro, for fans and shit. And that'd be a tourist attraction.
Kept getting that $20K a month. But anyway, he was saying this is totally the behavior of someone innocent.
Once they know exactly what happened, bro, you could, like, give tours. That's kind of crazy. Like, maybe I'm thinking about it too business-minded. I'm gonna cut that out.
But then this guy responded, likely not his call. He wasn't the leasee. My guess, this is just Interscope further cutting ties with him. I'd also guess they convinced him to do this because he could fight it and demand an actual legal eviction. All right. How the F can a dude with a few mil be paying $240K a year on a rental home? They're saying he didn't live in LA, and LA housing is extremely expensive. The apartment was shared with the manager and probably written off as a business expense, right? How the F can a dude with a few mil be paying $240K a year?
Bro, how can a dude worth a few mil be paying $240K a year on a rental home? I don't think people really, like, are paying attention to how successful David's music is. He got a couple songs over 1 billion streams. 1 billion streams, if I'm not mistaken, is like, I think tens of millions of dollars. I'm not sure. I gotta ask ChatGPT, but I'm pretty sure it's like tens of millions of dollars. And of course, he's not getting all of that. A lot of it's going to his label, but still, bro, if he's got a decent split, that dude is up, bro. Fuck a few mil, bro. And $240K a year on a spot when you're coming up like that, bro, honestly, bro, that ain't shit, bro. That ain't shit of what he's making, or what he was making. Shit, what he still is making. I bet he's making more now than he was then, bro. It's the craziest part.
On a rental home. They're saying he didn't live in LA, and LA housing is extremely expensive. The apartment was shared with the manager and probably written off as a business expense. Probably too much money. He's not going to be making money off music anymore, and he has a trial coming up, so he's probably moving somewhere cheaper. People say he's worth $2 to $3 million, but that's really not much money considering he's never going to be able to get a job again. I'm not going to lie, he's probably caking off of these streams. The streaming numbers have gone through the roof. His Spotify, last time I checked it, he had over 30 million monthly listeners. Let's see if that's changed or if that's gone up, right? It's actually crazy. Wow. So he's now got
40
38 million monthly listeners. Some of these songs have 1 billion views, all right? And there ain't no way he's not still getting his bag off the music. So maybe I'll do a calculation of how much money he's actually been making, right? How much money?
Bro, the Trapler Ross official David pocket watch. Bro, what do y'all think? Hey, drop in the comments in the chat, bro. How much you think David is making? Your estimation for the Trapler Ross pocket watch right now.
He's made since this happened. People are saying this pussy is running into hiding. It says if you Google Street View the location, you will see.
It's funny they're calling him a pussy for running and hiding, bro. But he's literally like, it's the police is looking for him, bro. Bro, I don't know. I mean, I see what they're saying, but I just think that's kind of funny.
David's black Tesla in front of the house, as well as a blue one parked a little ahead of it. Both extremely dusty, like the impound photos show. People saying I definitely think the manager was involved in some way. The owner told them to leave, apparently. Although I think he's guilty and directly involved, it's not super unusual for them to move out since the property address is now public. The landlord is probably glad that they're leaving too. So like, are they not going to arrest him or keep him under supervision at least? They're just going to let him run off to do God knows what. But this says, I'm pretty sure they still have him under surveillance. They probably also confiscated his passport, which is why the European tour was cancelled.
Yeah, there's no way, bro. There's no way he's not under surveillance, bro. He's for show. Like, they're watching his ass, bro. And they gonna get him if they get the chance, bro.
Says he's not going to be arrested until all forensic evidence is analysed, toxicology reports come back, all of Celeste's families and friends are interviewed, computers or phones are searched, data from companies is subpoenaed and analysed. It can take weeks or even months in this type of case. Do you people seriously have zero idea of how our justice system works? I'm baffled so many people thinks this just happens overnight. What about any possible evidence getting destroyed by this though?
Bro, when you're a nobody, that shit happens overnight. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Worrying even when they already raided the house. If they haven't been back to the house, they probably gathered any credible evidence already and released the scene. His label seems to be cutting ties with him as much as possible, just trying to save face for the company by cooperating with law enforcement in the investigation, but with no plans to move forward with him as an artist. So why would they pay to house him? Makes sense to get out of his lease and send him on his way until he's most likely arrested and not seeing the outside world ever again. So this is apparently the report by the medical examiner and the coroner. So it's got the case number, place of death, vehicle, it's got who the investigator is, but it says here cause A is deferred. Now I don't know whether this is cause A is deferred, maybe cause B, C, D, other significant conditions, we don't know. It says you can purchase the documents, but I did actually try and do that, and it said that they wouldn't actually be delivered until the case was closed, so we're probably gonna have to wait and find out. But I looked this up. When it says, obviously we already touched on this, but when it says that the cause of death is deferred, essentially what this means is that the medical examiner has not at this stage been able to determine the exact cause of death. Could be pending results, could take months for the results to come through, or it could come soon. So I think it is very disturbing that they haven't been able to find it out, and a lot of people have been suggesting, as I covered in a previous video, that if they can't determine a cause of death, it's going to make it really hard for them to prosecute this as a murder and as a homicide, because it's like you can't really prove, like, you can't prove where it happened, how it happened. You can't really prove he did it. You could definitely prove that he's in a relationship with this minor based on some of his social media postings, but as far as the actual death, I really don't know if they're going to be able to prove it. But I did think it was an interesting detail that they're even searching.
That'd be insane if even at the end, like after they go through all the evidence and stuff, they still can't prove it, and this dude walks free. Well, I mean, relatively free. Like, they could not give him time for the shit, that we like the people proved on the internet. But like, if that dude ends up getting off on this, that would be the most insane part of this whole story, to be honest.
And the drains for any blood, any human material in that property. I think that you definitely can't chop up a body in that. I don't know. Look, this is twisted, all right? I wouldn't even try and think about how you could dispose of a body, but that's like, I guess if you're doing that, you probably got to go and do that in the bathtub or in the shower or something. And just based on like mafia movies that I've seen, or like real cases that I've seen covered, like when you start cutting into a person, blood can really spray everywhere, and you can't get rid of that stuff. You're lucky if you can bleach it down, but really,
yeah, you got to use bleach. I don't know why I know, but you got to use bleach, bro.
Realistically, you've seen in those CSI shows that forensic light, they'll shine the blue light and they'll be able to see traces of blood. So if that did go down at that property, they're going to definitely find some evidence. It's possible that it didn't go down there. There's that creepy video of him at a motel in between his hometown of Houston and LA, where he was staying in New Mexico as a stop off at a rest stop. He was at a motel. I would think that the police were investigating that motel. The fact that he was in that creepy TikTok video waving at the motel, and then a tow truck drives by, that was incredibly creepy. But I think if wherever this happened, if they can find out where this happened, they're definitely going to find blood evidence. That's key. And so, if he was staying at that motel and they've got a record of him staying there and they've got blood spatter in there, maybe they'll be able to make something of it. But, the good thing is that essentially they're going to be able to do DNA analysis, even if the body was, severely disfigured. If the blood matches, if they find her blood in any of his properties, on any clothes, anything to do with David, he loves to wear those fake white shirts with fake blood stains spattered on them. Maybe there's a real one. Maybe he's got a real shirt with blood on it. Maybe that's something he did to throw the authorities off, knowing that he's got a bunch of shirts with blood stains, real blood stains on it, and a bunch of fake shirts with fake blood stains on it that he's wearing wearing on tour. He likes to think that he's a smart master manipulator, so maybe that was an angle, maybe that was a play for the whole thing. But obviously, we're just waiting for more information to come out.
Facts,
it sounds like
bro.
he has fled his home.
Facts, bro. That's definitely what it's gotta be, bro. That red, like, that bloody shirt, bro. There's no other explanation for that shit, bro. Especially the way he marketed it and, like, made that literally his brand. Like, that's his merch. Is crazy.
But we're just gonna have to wait and see and wait and find out. We're all still waiting for an arrest to take place. So I'll keep you guys updated in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Alright, y'all, so that was a crazy video. It's insane to see that bro actually fled, like, from the spot and, like, dipped out. I mean, it makes sense. To be honest, it makes sense. That's, like, a sound decision. You know, you got police digging all over your spot. Pause. You got, like, people watching you probably from outside your crib, bro. You can't even have no privacy. To be real, that's, like, honestly understandable to want to get out of that place in that point, but it's weird considering the circumstances, and that's a common theme with this situation. Like, nothing he does seems too, like, I mean, okay, nah, a lot of things he did, bro. Leaving the hints was fucking crazy. That's insane. That's like Saw work. That's like real horror movie, like, villain activities, bro. But seeing the fact that he got up out of the spot so soon after they raided it, bro, it makes it look worse, bro. It makes it look more like he did that shit, bro. And I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this.